where do you think the ROVAL fits right now in the whole culture of NASCAR? Because it was really cool and really new and really exciting. Now there's one of two road courses, which I know we'll get to. But like, where do you see the ROVAL fitting in the overall experience of the race fan right now in the schedule?
I don't think it fits in, and that's not to say it's a bad thing, right? The dirt race at Bristol didn't fit into anything, but it fit because it was unique. And I think the ROVAL still is a little bit unique in some ways because of the nature of the track, because the fan, if you sit in the grandstands, you can see the whole track for the most part, which is different
than road course,
than other road courses. But, you know, I still, especially with the next-gen car, it's been a challenge. And it's, you know, I wouldn't say I was surprised that it stayed on the 2024 schedule, but you know, I don't know that many would have shed a tear if it wasn't.
So, yeah, Jeff Cluck's poll, which has become famous, was the ROVAL a good race? It was 60-40 when I got out of the shower this morning. Did you vote yes or no?
I haven't voted yet, but if I vote, it'll be yes. Because it was an intriguing race, and I thought there was, you know, because of the elimination factor. If you didn't have the elimination factor, I don't know how good a race it was, but it was a good race in the sense you had all this stuff that you could watch and see, you know, what was going to happen and how it was going to impact everything.
TJ, you voting yes or no?
I'm voting no.
Wow.
It's just not the track's fault either. It's still that these cars are entirely too easy to drive on these things, and we have very few single car incidents where when you used to go to these road courses, there was always multiples, like tons. Now they get in trouble. There's just they just don't get in trouble much at all. The cars are just stuck a lot, and I know they slide and they miss chicane every now and then, but nothing like what we've seen in the past, and nothing like what we go to Watkins Glen. Then arguably it's a single file race, and nobody really moves anywhere. That's because they're not. To me, the cars just have too much grip still, and they're just too easy to drive on the road courses. We need the finesse factor back where, you know, I just from what I see.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday's race.
What are you voting?
Yesterday, I would probably say no, just for the fact of, you know, these guys, the longer you let them run on a racetrack, they're going to find a way to go faster. They're going to find, you know, ways to kind of, I don't want to say cut the course, but you're going to find ways to make speed. And when we're all going the same speed, we can't pass each other. We've seen that at every racetrack we go to, ovals, whatever, short tracks now. And, you know, obviously there was a factor of the cutoff line adding intrigue to it. But, you know, if it was up to me, I would have I would have rather had that race on the oval yesterday and just seeing what played out. But you seen guys like it's tough. You bring them stage cautions back, and it's tough because I think like Tyler Reddick was clearly the best car, but he had to chase stage points all the way, and he has to forfeit his chance to win a race because he's chasing stage points. So I don't know. It's an interesting deal, and it doesn't bother me. It's not a terrible race by any means, but I would have much rather had that race on the oval.
It's
yesterday.
not the track's fault.
No,
the track's great. I mean, the track, what they've done with that track and how they created it, and putting the chicanes in, doing things like that. Even the restart zone was kind of crazy. It was kind of cool, but I think it's not the track's fault at all. They do a really good job. That track looks really good.
So what made the last third of the last stage so crazy? I mean, the last 20 laps were nuts.
well, it's just people just trying to get everything they can.
Intensity picks up as usual, just like
Well, I
the
mean,
end
you
of
had
another
guys
race.
wrecking mid-pack that didn't need to be. Suarez hooked the two into us. Then
Yeah.
Bell dumped Suarez. Somehow Eric Jones had more stop-and-go penalties yesterday than the whole first half of the race. All I heard was, all right, 43 has served his stop-and-go. 43 has served another stop-and-go. Yeah, I guess he kept blowing the backstretch, which I don't know if we talk about it. We probably do. So I'll wait for that. But, like, it was just, I think it was just mid-pack guys making mistakes. Like, it wasn't, you didn't see the racing for the lead get crazy. Like, you know, I feel like every year we have somebody like we saw on Saturday, we have somebody blow turn one and wipe out half the field or just drive himself into the fence.
Was that because the restart zone that we didn't see it?
I don't know. I mean, we were still racing into turn one. It
You
wasn't.
can still overdrive the corner.
Yeah, you could still bomb it
It's
in
just
there.
easier to overdrive the
Jim
corner.
proved that.
We've
yeah.
seen that
It's
on
easier to
Saturday.
overdrive when you start on the big track because you're not coming out of a corner.
Yeah.
Is-
But
did-
were they making mistakes because their brakes were getting hot? Were they making mistakes because they're fatigued, or did they just?
I
making
think
mistakes?
that, like, I was watching the Suarez deal that took us out was, I mean, I think they were just pushing hard. They were 3 wide behind Austin Cindric, and they just all fighting for the same corner, and somehow Suarez just turned and hit Austin in the right rear and hooked him into us. Like, I don't know if he just turned to the corner too soon or what he did. Then I seen Bell was kind of up his ass off of 8 and just decided to get rid of him, I guess. Like, I don't know. It didn't really hurt my feelings very much.
I will say though, that's a corner where you try to pinch the guy down because
Yeah.
if you can get him to slow
And-
down just a little bit more.
And to
you're
Bell's
gonna beat
credit,
him.
like if Bell checks up there off of 8, if
He's
he
getting
checks
passed.
up there to give Daniel a break, that not only slows him down for turn 8, that slows him down all the way back around to the bus stop chicane on the backstretch. So you can't really give a lot there. I mean, obviously you don't probably want to wreck a guy, but at the same time you can't really just check up and stop and lose all your momentum because you're probably going to get eaten alive once you get up on the oval.
Now, Bob, back to your comment around it not necessarily fitting within the schedule, but isn't really supposed to fit, just like the dirt track. Do you think that maybe this race should have been not a cutoff race during the playoffs, but still be entertaining, but not necessarily make or break for drivers?
Well, I mean, I think it makes the fact that it is a cutoff race is what makes it intriguing. Right. So if it's not a cutoff race, I don't know how exciting it is, and how. I guess it'd be the one interesting piece would be how would these drivers in the playoffs play it? Would they all then end up trying to get stage points instead of the ones who are already like feeling like they have to win? Flipping
if you
the
take
stages.
the stage breaks out again, it's worse, big time. The only way that thing got interesting was because the leaders cycled back into the pack.
Yeah, and I think there's still a way to. I hate the stage breaks at road courses. I think there's a way to do if you move the brakes around a little bit. There's a way to make that decision a little bit harder for the teams of whether you're going to chase points or chase the win.